Okay, everyone. Time to get the rest of Week 13 done. To recap the Thursday night game, which is on tonight, we split on it, obviously, as we usually do. Madden picked Houston, my pick was Philadelphia, and we'll find out about that game later tonight. But first, we'll look at the rest of Week 13. Here we go. Jacksonville and Tennessee. Now, last week was Rusty Smith's first start as the Titans quarterback, and he didn't do much. And I don't have much to go on as far as picking him right now, so pretty much more picking against Tennessee right now than actually picking Jacksonville, but Jacksonville has to be my pick for that reason, because I have no idea what Rusty Smith can do. So Jacksonville has to be my pick here. And Madden's going to pick Tennessee, so good luck with that, Madden. Okay, Denver and Kansas City. Now, Denver is not as good as that record shows. They're 3-8. They've kind of had a write-off season. Kansas City is actually 7-4, so they've probably been the big surprise of the year. So when we get Denver coming into Kansas City, and you know, if I picked this game back in September, I probably would have picked Denver hands down. But Kansas City's done well, and Denver's done not so well, so makes it pretty easy. My pick's got to be Kansas City here. And Madden's going to pick Kansas City too, 24-20. Okay, let's move on to Washington and the Giants. Both have definitely had sparks of greatness during the year. I think the Giants have just been a bit more consistent, though. You know, Washington's had some offensive breakdowns, usually with the line or whatever. And sometimes Shanahan hasn't shown as much faith in McNabb as he probably should have. But yeah, it's kind of easy. I think the Giants are probably the more consistent team here. I don't know. Maybe on a good day, Washington beats them, but so it could go either way. But I gotta go with the Giants. They've probably got the best chance of winning, I think. And Madden thinks so too. 29-13. Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions. This has got to be a pretty easy one. Detroit 2-9. Chicago 8-3. Pretty open and shut, I think. Chicago's my pick. Don't think there's much chance of Detroit winning here, so let's not beat around the bush. Chicago's my pick, and Chicago's Madden's pick. 23-17. Let's move on. Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Madden still has yet to pick Tampa Bay this year. And this week, I don't think I'm going to either. Atlanta's proven that they're one of the elite teams, I think. And they've been together a bit longer than Tampa Bay has as well. I mean, Tampa Bay's just starting to come into greatness, but Atlanta's just been there a little longer. And I think... And yeah, I think Atlanta will be a little more consistent, you know, in a game like this. So, Atlanta's going to be my pick. And the streak continues. Madden does not pick Tampa Bay for a 12th straight time. But it is an agreement with me, so let's move on. New Orleans and Cincinnati. I don't know what's up with Cincinnati this year. I mean, yeah. But because not much is happening in Cincinnati, this makes this another pretty easy pick. New Orleans, defending Super Bowl champs. They're still about as good as they were last year. I don't know if they're quite as good as they were last year, but I don't know if they'll win another Super Bowl. But they're still a great team, and they're still a lot better team than Cincinnati is, so they're going to have to be my pick. And they're Madden's pick as well, 27-20. Okay, Buffalo and Minnesota. think about this one for a sec. Buffalo. A friend told me this week that they're surprised that Buffalo is a 2-win team because they've fought hard in their games, and the fact that they've only won 2 of them, and they brought how many 800 games to overtime this season. So, and they played a lot of close games, and it's just kind of a shame that they've only won 2. Against Minnesota, they got a new coach. They won last week. Distractions are kind of going away. Peterson got hurt last week. That was kind of a setback, but I don't know. And Minnesota's at home. Minnesota. Gonna pick Minnesota. It's just hard to pick Buffalo, even... Yeah. Minnesota's my pick. And Minnesota's Madden's pick, 30-20. Okay, Cleveland and Miami. Cleveland 4-7, Miami 6-5. This is another tough one, but I gotta think Miami's the smart pick here. Cleveland played a good game last week against Carolina and fought pretty much to the end. But Miami is Miami. They've got at least their second quarterback back. Chad Pennington's not coming back, but Chad Henne is back in action, and he should at least kind of keep Miami solid for the rest of the year. And a solid Miami Dolphins team, I think, beats a Cleveland Browns team. So Miami is going to be my pick. And Madden picks Miami as well, 16-13. Okay, move on to San Francisco and Green Bay. And look at those records. They are actually reversed. San Francisco is 4-7. Green Bay is 7-4. Don't know what Madden's thinking here, but yeah. And when you look at the records as they actually are, I think Green Bay is pretty much the stronger team here in pretty much all facets of the game. I mean, a lot of people thought San Francisco would win the division this year. They still possibly could. I mean, it's a very weak division. And, yeah. San Francisco could still turn some heads. But in a game against Green Bay, I think Green Bay has got to be your pick here. So Green Bay is going to be my pick here. And Madden goes with Green Bay too, 14-3. I think that's quite a few consecutive agreements here. Oakland and San Diego. San Diego's kind of on their way back. Slow start, but they've worked their way back up to a 6-5. And Oakland's kind of been a surprise team this year. They're 5-6 now, but I don't think anyone expected them to win 5 games this year. And let's see, Oakland and San Diego together. San Diego at home. You got to think San Diego's the hot team right now. Came off a really big win against the Colts last week. And the Colts are kind of struggling, but yeah, I would think, yeah, San Diego's hot. I got to go with San Diego here. So, and Madden goes with San Diego too, 23-14. Move on to the St. Louis Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. I gotta kind of speed this up. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I mean, you saw kind of Derek Anderson's meltdown last week, and I mean that's not an indication that they're bad, but their record is. I think St. Louis has just been a tad more consistent this year. And, yeah, Arizona's kind of falling apart. Yeah. So, St. Louis is going to be my pick here. And on cue, just mentioned the tirade on the ticker there. So, St. Louis is my pick. And Madden picks Arizona by 1 point, 13-12. Okay, Dallas and Indianapolis. Dallas with their abysmal 3-8 season. Indianapolis kind of struggling, kind of post-Indianapolis standards at 6-5. And I mean, Romo's still not going to be back for Dallas. So they're going to struggle the rest of the year, even when Romo comes back. I mean, I don't think it'll be pretty for Dallas. And the Colts are still the Colts. They're hard to shy away from, even kind of the way they're struggling. And against a team like the Cowboys, who are struggling the way they are this year, I think the Colts bounce back. So the Colts are going to be my pick. And the Colts are going to be Madden's pick, 30-28. Okay. Carolina and Seattle. Carolina, the worst record in the league at 1-10 right now. And, yeah, it's hard to pick that. I'm pretty much going to pick anyone against Carolina for the rest of the year, probably. So, because that happens to be Seattle this week, Seattle is my pick. And Seattle's Madden's pick, 27-20. And we get into the good ones. Sunday Nighter with the both 8-3 Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. Hard to say which is the better team here. Even without Roethlisberger for the first few weeks of the season, Pittsburgh's been great, and they've continued that greatness when Roethlisberger came back. And Baltimore, a lot of people expected Baltimore to win the division. I expected Baltimore to win the division, and they still could. I don't know if they've been as great as people thought they would be, but they've still been great. But against Pittsburgh, who do you pick? I think just because offense and defense, pretty much everything, are together in Pittsburgh, and Baltimore's got a few minor holes. They're minor, but I don't know. Everything's pretty much together in Pittsburgh, though, so I think Pittsburgh's got to be my pick. Okay, I'm picking Pittsburgh against the Baltimore Ravens, and Madden's gonna pick Baltimore. Okay, so that was the Sunday night game. That brings us to the Monday night game with the both 9-2 New York Jets and New England Patriots. And who do you pick in this one? Yeah, I think basically just because of their sheer ability to put points on the board. I mean, the Jets have been kind of winning with offense and defense, but the Patriots just put points on the board like it's going out of style. I think against a team like the Jets, that will eventually win out. So New England is going to be my final pick of Week 13. And Madden's final pick of Week 13 is going to be the Patriots as well. Look at that score. If that doesn't illustrate my point, then what does? So I've got 2 minutes left. I got to quickly count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, just 12. So we agreed on 12 picks out of 16 this week, which means the 4 we didn't are the Thursday night game tonight, Tennessee and Jacksonville, the one with Arizona, that one, and the Sunday nighter, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So those 4 will be the difference between Madden and I winning Week 13. And so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, have fun. I'll see you all when Week 13 is done. And I'm just going to fall just under 50 minutes here, I think. So I think I'm golden. And I will see you on Tuesday. Have a good day. Bye-bye.